Today, we are talking about something we all have to do, but something that can feel a little scary, especially in a new language. We are talking about how to introduce yourself confidently in English. And to help us learn and become more confident, we have a fantastic guest today. She is an expert English teacher with years of experience. Please give a warm welcome to Mona. Hello, Mona. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Allie. Thank you so much for having me. I am so happy to be here and talk about this very important topic.
We are happy to have you. So let's start with the basics. In your experience, why is a good introduction so important?
That is a wonderful question to start with. Think of it this way. Your introduction is the first gift you give to someone. It's the first piece of you that they receive.
The first gift. I've never heard it described that way. That's lovely.
It's your first impression. It tells people if you are friendly, if you are open, and if you are confident. A good introduction can open the door to a new friendship or a new job opportunity. A weak one, well, it can close that door.
Right, so it's more than just saying your name.
Much more. It sets the tone for the entire conversation that follows. When you introduce yourself well, people feel more comfortable with you, and you feel more comfortable with them.
Okay, so let's help our listeners build a great introduction. Can you give us a simple, easy-to-remember formula?
Absolutely. I call it the GNF formula. Greeting, name, fact.
GNF. Okay, I like that. Let's break it down. What about the greeting?
For the greeting, keep it simple. Hello and hi are always great choices. Hey is a little more casual, good for friends.
Okay, and for the N, the name part, is it better to say, I'm Allie or my name is Allie?
Both are perfectly correct. I'm is a little more common and sounds very friendly and natural. My name is great too, maybe slightly more formal. You can choose what feels best for you.
Good to know. And the last part, F, for fact. What kind of facts should we share?
This is the fun part. It can be your job, where you're from, or a hobby. For example, I'm a student, or I'm from Mexico, or I love cooking. This little fact gives the other person something to talk to you about.
Ah, it helps start the conversation.
Exactly. So, putting it all together, hi, I'm Mona, and I'm an English teacher. See? Simple, clear, and friendly.
That's brilliant, simple, and effective. Now, the biggest challenge for many learners is confidence. We can know the words, but we feel shy or nervous to say them. What are your best tips for this?
Confidence is a feeling, but we can do things to help us feel it. My number one tip is to smile. Even a small smile changes the sound of your voice and makes you sound warmer.
A smile is a universal welcome.
It is. Second, slow down. Take a deep breath before you speak. When we are nervous, we rush our words, which makes them harder to understand. Speaking slowly makes you sound more thoughtful and confident.
That's a great point. What if you're speaking and you forget a word?
It's okay. It happens to everyone, even native speakers. You can just pause and say, "Oh, just a moment." Then think of the word. It's much better than panicking.
Right. It shows you're comfortable.
Exactly. And my final, most important tip is to practice. Don't wait until you are in a big, important situation. Practice at home. Say your introduction to your reflection in the mirror.
Practice in a safe space first.
Yes, a really useful trick is to record yourself on your phone. Just use the voice memo app. When you listen back, you can hear what you sound like. It helps you improve so much.
Recording yourself. I bet many of our listeners have never tried that. That is a golden tip, Mona. Now, let's talk about different situations. We introduce ourselves at parties and we introduce ourselves in job interviews. They should be different, right?
Yes, definitely. We need to think about our audience. We can call this formal versus informal introductions.
Okay, so give us an example of an informal, casual one.
Imagine you're at a friend's birthday party. You could say, "Hey, I'm Mona. Nice to meet you. How do you know Sarah?" It's relaxed, friendly, and you ask a question to start a conversation.
I see. It's more about connecting. Now, what about a formal situation, like the first day at a new job?
For a formal situation, you want to be more professional. You could say, "Hello, my name is Mona Jacobs. I'm the new project manager. I'm looking forward to working with you all." You might use your full name and job title.
The tone is very different, more serious, more professional.
Exactly. The key is context. Always think, who am I talking to? What is the situation? This will help you choose the right words and the right tone.
This has been so clear and helpful, Mona. I feel more confident already. Before we finish, could you give us a quick summary of the most important points? That's some great advice on the verbal part of introductions, Mona. But what about the nonverbal cues? How important is body language when you're introducing yourself?
Of course. Remember the GNF formula: greeting, name, fact. To feel confident, remember to smile, speak slowly, and practice. And finally, always think about your audience for formal and informal situations.
Fantastic. And do you have one final piece of advice for our listeners?
Yes, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Learning a language is a journey. Every time you introduce yourself, it's a victory. Be proud of yourself for trying. Be brave.
Be brave. A perfect message to end on. Mona, thank you so much for sharing.